Good morning, everybody. Y'all give me a minute. Let me get set up here real quick. All right, there we go. We'll set up. All right. Let me go ahead and let's get ready to do our broadcast. Thank y'all for joining us again. Get my recording. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody. You made it to Friday. Yes, sir. The weekend is right around the corner. It's 6 a.m. Actually, it's about 6:10 a.m. and on this Friday morning. And this is the Low Board Report, the last Low Report of the week. As always, my name is Calvin Butler, and I'm your host for the Low Board Report. And the Low Board Report is brought to you by the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network, the most sought after and popular logistics training platform in the industry, and one of the fastest growing. So let's go and jump right in, see what's going on in your neck of the woods with loads around the country. All right, let's start sharing my screen. Here we are. As always, we're starting off with direct freight to get a snapshot of the country. As you all know, direct freight is one of the 100 load boards that we provide access to for our members and our students and those who join our subscription platform. So let's jump right in. Let's get off to the bat. Starting off with Texas. Always, Texas is the state that has the most loads traditionally, and as always, they are keeping up with that standard. Texas right now this morning has 7,608 loads that are available in Texas. New Mexico has 924 loads. Arizona has 991 loads. California has 4,325 loads available. Nevada has 661 loads. Oregon has 2,035 loads. Washington State has 1,641 loads. Montana has 519 loads. Idaho has 1,300 loads even on the head, 1,300 loads. Utah has 1,113 loads. Colorado has 1,189 loads. Wyoming has 440 loads. Montana has 519 loads. North Dakota has 195 loads. South Dakota has 438 loads. Nebraska has 534 loads. Some great reefer runs running out of Nebraska. I know back in the day, I used to run a reefer from Nebraska all the way down to Florida, run refrigerated loads, load of steaks and Omaha steaks and all that type of stuff. From up there in Lexington, Nebraska. Had about 5 or 6 stops, had about 5 stops and pickups going down to Florida. But it paid, oh God, it paid great. I can't even remember the company I used to run that for. I'll think of it in a minute, but it was not a large company, but a very small family ran trucking company that I ran for out of there. And I only ran those loads with them for like maybe 4 months because I was transitioning to going to Florida and just running down in Florida, all the time. But I ran with them for about 4 months. It was a reefer. I had a bunch of stops going down, and I had to find my way back up there. So it took me a whole week to go down, but it was paying 14 grand. Woo, that was a pretty good run. Yeah, $14,000 is what it was paying, and for some reason, it was a great route, but all those stops and having to find my way back up to get back there in time to grab my load on Monday morning was a hassle. That was a hassle trying to get back up there. Every Tuesday is when my pickup was up in Lincoln, Nebraska. So it was just a hassle trying to get back up there. But it did pay great money. But anyway, I digress. Okay. In Kansas, we have 840 loads. Oklahoma, 734 loads. Arkansas, 4,107 loads. Louisiana, 1,373 loads. Mississippi, 1,651 loads. Alabama, 3,710 loads. Florida, 2,556 loads. Georgia, 3,725 loads. Tennessee, 1,912 loads. Missouri, the show me state, 1,918 loads. Jump over to Kentucky, 2,038 loads. Heading up to Indiana, 3,119 loads. Illinois, 4,568 loads. Iowa, 741 loads. Wisconsin, 2,156 loads. Minnesota, 1,319 loads. Head over here to Michigan, 2,130 loads. Indiana, 3,119 loads. Ohio, 3,718 loads. West Virginia, 438 loads. Virginia, 1,842 loads. North Carolina, 2,443 loads. South Carolina, 2,110 loads. Jump on over here, heading back up. Pennsylvania, 3,795 loads. New York, up in 2,299 loads. Up here in the great little state of Maine, 357 loads. Vermont, all of 115 loads. New Hampshire, 109 loads. Massachusetts, 850 loads. Rhode Island, 80 loads. Connecticut, 225 loads. New Jersey, 1,641 loads. Delaware, 128 loads. And Maryland, 1,348 loads. And jump down here to Alaska. Super truckers, y'all got 7 loads. Right. That's a look at the load board and what's going on in your neck of the woods as far as load availability. Remember, as always, if you want me to look up a load for you and pass it on to you for free of charge, we do that between the hours of 7:15 a.m. between the hours of 6:15 a.m. and 7 to 7:15 a.m. during the broadcast. So this is your chance to get some free loads. You're simply going to call 866-973-6445. That's 866-973-6445. Doesn't matter what extension you hit, because this time in the morning, you're only gonna get me. Okay? All right. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Let's check our YouTube people out and see what we've got going on over there, who's logged in, who's joining us this morning. Let's check that out real quick. What is going on with our YouTube? We got some people on YouTube. All right. This morning on YouTube for the Load Board Report, episode 10 this morning, who do we have this morning? We have Mr. Goody Rich. Good morning, Mr. Goody Rich Jr. How are you doing this morning? And we also have Miss Tuna, Miss Kunta Jenkins. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Kunta. Uh, I, I I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Miss Jenkins, or Mr. Jenkins. Who is that there? Well, we got the Jenkins on this morning. We got Dr. Glock. I like that name. Good morning from Chicago. Woo! No, I ran low. I used to run a peanut run from just outside of Chicago. I used to run a peanut run from Chicago to Bainbridge, then from Bainbridge back to Chicago, all going the peanut runs. I mean, I used to pick up the bottled and canned peanuts from Chicago, bring them down to Bainbridge. When I got down to Bainbridge, I used to drop that load and then pick up the bushel peanuts and run them back up to Chicago. So that was a run that I ran. It was a pretty good run, made some pretty good money. No dry van. Dry van. It was 24, I think 24.50 going up and 22.50 coming back down. So pretty good, decent run. Only took me 2 days to make that run, really a day and a half, really, to make that run up and make that run back down. So it was pretty good run. I used to run about some weeks I run 3 loads up, and then each week I would run. 1 week I would run 2 up, 1 down. The next week it'll be 2 down and 1 up. So pretty good run. All right. So that's what we got. Who's joined this morning? I thank y'all for joining us as always. Let's get back to our load board report and see what we got going on. All right. Now, yesterday we looked at some loads out of. I think we were up around the Virginia. We was up around the Virginia, North Carolina. No, we was up around Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. No, Tennessee, Kentucky, and North Carolina. I think that's where we were. Okay. Today, let's see what we're going to be looking at today. And the subject, what we're going to be talking about in between looking at loads, today we're going to hit on scaling your business, how to scale your business, whether it's a dispatch firm, freight brokerage firm, or a trucking company. We're going to talk about scaling your business today. Okay. But in between time, while we're waiting for someone to give us a call and give us some loads to look up for them, let's go ahead and let's just look at matter of fact, let's just look at the country all together. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull up just a blanket of loads. But now, because we got someone who's on here from Chicago, let's take Illinois. Let's look at Illinois. Someone is logged on this morning. So we're gonna, because of Dr. Glock, I think this is his first time on here. He's never joined us. So in honor of Dr. Glock this morning, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Illinois, up around his state, up there where he's at right now. All right. Available loads in Chicago, up in Illinois right now, 3,688 loads. Let's look and see what's going on. Let's go and hit our rate per mile. Get the highest rate per mile. Now, you all know, if y'all didn't know, the reason why I like looking at the highest rate per mile first, because usually those are the shortest runs. In case y'all haven't figured out by now, I like short runs. Why? Because you can run more of them. I do. I like short runs. You can run more of them. And this morning, I'm looking at a great short run right now. I'm looking at a pretty good short run from Chicago, Illinois, to Skokie, Illinois. Now, this is a short run right out of your area, Mr. Glock, of where you at. This is a great short run, 15 miles. I mean, you can't get no shorter than that. Come on, man. 15 miles, and it's paying $325, and it's a van, a dry van? Come on. Now, and it's 37,000 pounds, so it's not too heavy, so it's a good little weight for that little length of time, 15 miles. Pick that bad boy up early when that picks up on the 20th. That picks up on the 20th, looks like. Ship date on the 20th, which is going to be, the day is the 17th. It is Friday, which is Monday morning. So most places right now are here's the deal right now. Whatever you pick up this morning, chances are it doesn't have to be delivered till Monday. Now there are some places, there are some receivers that are open on Saturday. I don't hardly know any receivers that are open on Sundays. Okay, there are a few receivers that are open on Saturday, but the majority of owner operators right now, they are shutting down for their 34 their reset, their 34-hour reset. Okay, that's what they're shutting down for. Okay, they ran all week, ran the clock down, depleted their hours for the week, and they're shutting down for that reset. They had some truck stop, or some of them were fortunate enough to make it back home, or whatever the case may be, and they're shut down. What I used to like to do when I was running that Chicago run, right? When I was running that Chicago run on the weekends that I got stuck up in the Chicago area, I would park my truck and get a hotel room. I mean, I didn't want to sleep in my truck all week, all weekend or whatever it is. So that's what I would do. I would park my truck and get a hotel room, just chill out, and get up early Monday morning and head out. Okay, but that's what I would do. I would park my truck in a secure location, load the truck in a secure location and get a hotel, and then I just head on back down to Florida with that load. But here's a great load, picking up in Chicago on the 20th. And let's do some details on it here. Looks like it is a dry van. Why? Because it's 37,000 pounds. Okay. Trip miles, 15. And that is offered by Online Freight Services at 800-284-2603. 800-284-2603. So those of you who are shut down for the weekend, if you want a quick, short run, make some great money, takes you about a half hour to run the load. Even if it takes them 2 hours to unload the doggone thing, man, you ain't hurting at all. You got time to go pick up another load and make some more money on top of that. For the day, if you pick that load up early in the morning, let's say they open up at 6 a.m., I mean, you'll have that load delivered and out of there by 9 o'clock. You should be ready to grab another load. Okay, so you got time enough. Really, what I would do here is what I would do if I was still an owner operator, and certainly as a dispatcher. I'd go ahead and book that load, secure it, then go ahead and schedule another pickup for around 10 o'clock. Somewhere in that area. I would do a reverse search real quick. Not necessarily a reverse search, but look for a search that's leaving out of Skokie, going somewhere for a van. That's what I would do. And I would look for it on the 20th, the same day. Okay. Now, let me show y'all something. Well, I would look for it on the 20th for the same day. Now, here's one. Get this. Here's one that's going 9 deadhead miles from Skokie, from where you are. No, that's on the 24th. Let me see here. I got to go back, find another one that's on the 20th. Here's one on the 20th. Okay. It's not paying much, though. I really wouldn't put someone on that one. That one's only paying like to $50. But, it's probably, not a full load or whatever the case may be, but I wouldn't put someone on that one. All right. I will find a load that's leaving on the 20th, which they've got some loads on here that's 45 miles, deadhead 65-mile run, Ashton to Kenosha, Wisconsin. I will call up these people right here. Now, you don't see any numbers on these, but you got to call them up to find out what the pay is. Chances are, if they're short miles like that, and if they're any kind of decent weight, you can probably run them. Now, that 2,500 pounds, that may not be a good paying load because it's only 2,500 pounds. Okay, so you got to look at this weight, because if it's lightweight, it's it's probably not going to be that great paying of a load, but you never know. So you can call them too. The one that I would look at is this 38,000 pound one. Okay, I will look at this one, because the reason why I say that, you only got to go 26 miles, and it's leaving on the 20th. Okay, the same day you're going to pick up and drop the other, because the other one is 15 miles. You're going to drop it. So by 9 10 o'clock, you'll be able to pick this load up. So on the one that's leaving on the 20th, that's leaving out of Bartlett, Illinois, going to Bolingbrook. That's one that I would call on. I will take a look at that one, and I will call, who is it? Snyder Brokerage over at 312-781-8236. Now, why would I call that one? Because even though the price is not posted, because it's a short run, 32 trip miles, right? And it's kind of heavyweight, which means chances are it's paying some decent money. I mean, if it's paying $500, that's worth the trip, right? If it's paying $400 to $500, it's worth the trip because you've got time to pick up 2 loads that morning, drop them both, and still have enough time on your clock and enough time in the day to pick up another load and run you 3 short loads, okay? And probably be done before 3 o'clock. If you get a third short load, you'll be done before 3 o'clock, okay? And you're probably gonna pick up anywhere from, on that second run, I'm willing to almost bet that broker's willing to pay anywhere from $500 to $700 because of the weight. Okay, it's a short trip, but I'm willing to bet they're willing to pay somewhere between $500 and $700 because of the weight. Okay, and you're only going 34 trip miles. Okay, that's it. So you got time to go and grab that load, run it, and then guess what? Let's look for another reverse search. Let's see what happens. Now, I'm not gonna do back to Bartlett. I'm gonna just say you gotta be, you're just trying to pick up 3 loads now. 3 good loads. And these are all van loads, by the way. Okay, these are all van loads. I'm just trying to pick up 3 good loads. So what you got here is, check this out. Now we're looking for the same date, leaving on the 20th. On the same date, leaving on the 20th. Okay, there's that one that we talked about. That's your first pickup right there, Chicago to Stokey. All right, that's your first one you're gonna pick up, right? And then you're gonna run that one over to where we're at. You're gonna run that over to Stokey. Then you're gonna pick one up that's about 15 miles from Stokey. You're gonna pick one up that's 26 miles from Stokey in Bartlett, and you're gonna run it to Bolingbrook, right? So, and that's probably gonna wind up paying about, anywhere between $400 and $750. So you made $350, $450 to $700. What's that? 7, 8, 9,000, $1,100 so far. Okay, you're already sitting on about 1,000 to $1,100 right there. Okay, then you go and grab that third load. You're gonna run just a few short miles. Let's see. Now we got to find something a few short miles away from that and see what it's paying on the 20th, the same day. Check this out. Now, this is about your longest run right here, but you should have enough time to make it happen. You can go 97 miles deadhead. You still got enough time, because if you run your truck right, when you get there, you shut that bad boy down. You only ran 15 miles and 24 miles. With your deadhead all together, you ain't. I mean, with your deadhead all together, you're under 100 miles. So if you go another 97 miles, that's 200 miles. And then the trip miles is 119 miles. You still completed the day with less than 500 miles, less than 400 miles, really 300 some odd miles. Okay, a decent driver can drive 650 miles in a driving shift. So here it is, you're able to grab 3 loads on the same day, run them and complete them on the same day, and drive less than 400 miles. So you're gonna go and pick that up in Sheldon, Illinois. And you're gonna run it to Somethingville, Indiana. A van load, 53 foot. It's only 9,600 pounds. Light load. And it's paying $950. So that's $7.98 per mile. And to get that one, that is at Frontline Logistics, 734-449-9474. Now, as a dispatcher, What I would do with that, I would call each one of those companies right now, today, right now, because I've already planned it out for picking it up on Monday. I will call them right now because they got it posted. Go ahead and ease their mind and let them know, let each one of them know I've got a truck that's ready to pick up their load. I will schedule the first one for early as I can pick it up in the morning. I said, is there any way that you can pick that load up around 4 something in the morning or 5 something in the morning before 6 a.m.? If they tell me yes, look here, but I'm dancing because I know we finna make some money that day. I'm dancing right away. That's the first thing. All right. I say, hey, can they pick that load up sometime between 4 o'clock in the morning? Because remember, it's the weekend. They're shutting down for that 34 reset. They'll be ready to run come Sunday night. Right? Yeah. They'll be ready to run come Sunday night. So I'm asking them, can we pick that load up early in the morning? And I see if the driver can get there beforehand, can he park there overnight and wait that morning to pick the load up? See, it's all about the planning. If a good dispatcher is going to plan this out, a good dispatcher is going to map this out and going to plan this out. And on Friday, today, the driver that's sitting at the truck stop now will have peace of mind of knowing that he'll have 3 loads that he can pick up on Monday morning. Pick one up, drop it, pick the other one up, drop it, and they're all short runs. He ain't got to worry about putting no stress on his truck, himself, and all that time. And he'll be done by 3, 4 o'clock on Monday and have put in his pocket 900 and what are we talking about? Let's look at this thing. He will have put in his pocket $950 on this last run. Let's look at the money. Let's look at the money. All right. He's looking at $325 on his first run. Let's break out the old calculator, y'all. All right. So what is he looking at? All right, here we go. He is looking at $325 on his first run. Let me position my calculator where I can see the money here. Yeah. All right. There we go. He's looking at $325 on his first run. Let me clear this out. So $325 plus on his second run, he is looking at what's the rate on the second run? On that second run, we don't know what the rate is, but we're willing to bet because it's a short run, but it's heavy weight, 38,000 pounds. That's his heaviest load right there, 38,000 pounds. So, you know, that's going to take him a little while to get loaded, but he still got plenty enough time to get that bad boy loaded and out of there because it's a very, very, very short run. The deadhead is short and the run is short. Okay? Very short run, 32 trip miles. Come on. All right? So I'm going to say at least $600 on that one. I'm pretty sure you can talk that broker into $600, you know, on that load because of the weight. That's $925 he's got right there already. And then on that last run, he's making what? On that last one, he's looking at $950. And this without even trying to up any of the brokers on their rate yet. You know, you just saying, yeah, I ran that load for what you got it for. You know, but I'm pretty sure if you can add $100 or a couple $100 to each one of them, I'm pretty sure you can do that. But what was that? 900 on that last load, 950 plus 950. So what do you have? You got a van, dry van, mind you, that on Monday morning can pick up 3 loads, run them short runs, blah, 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 run them, right? And be done before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And just made $1,875. $1,875 in one day. 3 short run loads. Now, I'm about to really, you know, get some of y'all excited. Now, after you run that, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna just be happy with that? Say, oh man, I just ran me some loads and made $1,875. But me as the dispatcher, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call broker number one back. Hey, over there at online, freight services, that run my guy ran from you yesterday morning or this morning, early this morning. That little short run, yeah, he can run that every day. Because chances are those little short runs like that, chances are those are repeatable daily loads. Because the little short run, right? The little short run. And chances are there's a good chance that it is a repeatable load. How do I know this? Because I've done this time and time again. When I see stuff like that, when I call on it, I've got about a 60, my success rate of turning that into a dedicated right now is about 60 to 70% in my favor. That's from doing it in the past, from what I've done. That's why most of my carriers that run with my company, the carriers that I dispatch for, that my company dispatches for, and we dispatch at this point for over 317 carriers every single week, y'all. Most of the carriers that our company dispatches for, about 65% of the loads that we run are repeatable, dedicated, what we call semi-dedicated runs. They were not dedicated when we grabbed them, but because we asked the questions and we sought to find out, did some probing, we found out that those loads can be ran every day. And by presenting that to the broker, you are doing the broker a favor. By securing that broker a truck that can run that load every single day, so that broker can now take that load off their books on loads that they got to find on loads that they got to find a truck for. They can go ahead and just pencil you in your dispatch firm and pencil your truck driver in, all that stuff in, bam, that's you gonna pick that load up every day. So I would call that guy early that morning. Hey, the guy that ran that load, early that morning, he can run that every day. Because most truck drivers are not gonna want to run a load, be stuck in a load that's only paying $350 or $325 if that's the only load that they got. See, the broker, most drivers and the broker, they're thinking, okay, well, this is the only load I got that runs every morning. It's gonna be hard finding a driver to run such a short load for only $300 some odd dollars. Because they're not thinking, got time to pick up another load. But for them, it's not time to pick up another load because that's the only load they got. They can't find them another load that's gonna connect with that to make it worth it to a driver to say, okay, this is gonna be a dedicated. But see, I'm already doing that type of work before. I'm telling you, no, I got a driver that can run that load every morning. Then I'm gonna call the next broker. Hey, they got to pick that load up about 9 o'clock this morning and ran that for you? Yeah, he can run that load every morning. Oh, really? Oh man, you just saved me a whole bunch of problems, whole bunch of time, a whole bunch of trouble. Then guess what? I'm gonna jump over here and call the last guy. Hey, they got to pick that load up about 1 o'clock? Yeah, he can run that load every day, same time. Really? Yeah. Now you call your drivers. Hey man, I just got you set up on a dedicated. Them same 3 loads you ran today, you can head back to where they pick up at. Stokey, going to head back there right now. Because guess what? By the time he shut down by the end of the day, remember, he's only driven about 300 some odd miles. So he still got plenty of time on his clock to deadhead 30 some miles back to the original pickup spot. Or I'm sorry, 100 miles back to the original pickup spot. He got time. He's only driven 300 some odd miles. He still got about another 200, close to 300 miles, left that he can drive. Right? So he take another 100 miles and head back there. He'll be back there before 6 o'clock. Before 5 o'clock, really. He'll be back there before 5, 6 o'clock, taking 2 hours to make that run back and shut down, 6 o'clock. He parked, he good. If that's his home, he can head back home. If Chicago is his home, he can head back home to Chicago, park his truck, go to sleep in his own bed. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Ate him a dinner at his own house, chilled out, spend time with his wife and kids, good family time, Or if he's single, he got time to go out and enjoy the nightlife back home by 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, sleep in his bed, get back up at 4, 5 in the morning, run and grab that load at 6 a.m. and start it all over again, 5 days a week. 5 days a week, run the same 3 loads, home every night, in his bed, off every weekend, and making $1,875 per day. That times 5 days a week, that's $9,375 a week for a van driver, a dry van. That's a dry van now for a van driver, dry van. That times 52 weeks in a year, that driver's making $487,000 on just 3 short runs, van driver. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all talk about dispatchers are useless. Dispatch, I don't need a dispatcher. Ain't that a dispatcher can do for me? You get yourself a good dispatcher, boy, you got yourself somebody who can help you make some money. That's why I don't like the term dispatcher. I like the term owner-op business manager, because that's what I am. That's what my company does. We manage the business of owner-operators, okay? Because this is how I have trained, every dispatcher in my company is trained this way. This is how we train at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. This is how the dispatchers who join our platform and the National Dispatchers Network, this is how we train them. We train them to look and spot these type of opportunities, and we train them to make that happen for the owner operators. Let's go over to YouTube, see what we got going on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Dr. Locke said he is in Holenbrook. Well, we just got to talking about Holenbrook. Look. I know, Dr. Glock, this is your first time joining us today, and we got Mara Link from the ATL. Good morning from the ATL. How y'all doing? What y'all think about this load board report this morning and how we do things over here at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center while we're waiting on people to call us up and let us and get us to look for some loads. If you need a load this morning, give me a call, 866-973-6445, and tell me, you know, where you are, what type of trailer you have, and we'll look for some loads for you and pass them on to you free of charge. But we just got through talking about how a dispatcher should be managing the owner-operators, how they should be looking for, and we just got through demonstrating how you look for these short runs, you piece together these short runs, and then you contact the brokers and you turn them into semi-dedicated. I mean, it requires, yes, a little bit more effort on the dispatcher's part. But if you are successful in doing that, you are going to save yourself so much time and trouble, and you're going to make your money so easy. Because now that would be a carrier, an owner operator that I no longer have to worry about finding a load for that owner operator every morning, every day, or every week. Now all I got to do is make sure I call the broker, make sure I contact the shipper, those shippers, and those brokers. My only job now is to call them every so often just to make sure everything's going okay. Make sure my driver is picking up the loads on time and running them on time. Make sure there's no problem. Make sure he hasn't been late or anything. Call the driver. Make sure he's okay. You know, call that owner operator. Make sure he's okay. See if he's still happy with that route. That type of thing. That's all I'm doing there. I'm just doing maintenance from that point on out. Now, for those of you who are wondering, how do you get to 317 carriers? Well, that's how. That's how. By becoming an owner-op business manager and training your people to do the same thing. Now, this also goes into what I talk about, how you scale your business. How you scale your business. Because, look, if that truck driver is pulling down that right there, right, that dispatcher, my dispatch firm, is getting 10% of that because that's our fee. So $48,000 a year from one carrier. From one truck. Dispatching one truck, that's $48,000 a year, right? So now what I do is I scale my business to the point of where all I do is I go out and I contract carriers. Because I'm good at negotiating and I'm good at pitching my business. That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm good at. Hey, some people are gifted. What's the old saying? Um, 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 what's the old saying? Mozart was good at music. Charles Manson was good at killing. I'm good at talking. Everybody's got a talent. Okay, that's my talent. All right, all right. I don't know if y'all heard that before, but that's the old saying that they have. Mozart was good at music. Charles Manson was good at killing. I'm good at talking. Everybody has a talent. Okay, that's my talent. So I use my talent. I cater to my strong point, and that's going out, getting carriers signed up to my dispatch agreement. Once I get 5 carriers, then I hire me a dispatch agent. I tell that dispatch agent, I've got a book of business for you when you come and work for my firm. You got a ready book of business of 5 carriers that I'm going to give you. They've already got loads. I've already got them set up on some type of dedicated, or most of them are set up on some type of dedicated run. It at most out of the 5, they're probably going to have to find loads for maybe 2, maybe 3 of them each morning or each week. That's the most what they got to do. They don't have to call and get carriers signed up. They got to do none of the hard work. All they got to do is manage those carriers, find them loads, and keep them running. All right? You got 5 carriers. My carriers are making X amount of money. If they're only making $1,000 per load, right? If it's only $1,000 per load and they're only running 4 loads per week, that's $4,000 a week. That's $400 a week for my firm. If I'm splitting my dispatch fee, I'm going to pay my dispatcher 6% of the load fee. I'm going to keep 4, 60-40 split, right? So I'm paying my dispatcher 6% of the load fee. I'm going to keep 4, right? And then you have to go out and get any of those carriers. I'm going to tell you right now, that dispatcher, if he does that with 5 carriers, average that type of runs, he's getting 6% of the load fee. That dispatcher is going to make over $60,000 that year. Going to make about $62,900 or $67,000 on that load. On those 5 carriers. Because that right there is my firm, what's called, if I hired a dispatcher and gave him that carrier right there, that's running those 3 dedicated, that dispatcher on that right there is going to get 60% of my company's 48.7, right? So you take that minus 60%. I'm showing y'all how to scale your business. Hold up, 43. Hold up, I did something wrong on my calculations here. 41.6. All right, let's go back. Yeah, 41.6. Let's go back. 41.6. That dispatcher is going to get 6% of that, minus 60%. That dispatcher is going to get, my cut is going to be $24,960. That dispatcher is going to make per year on that one carrier that I just set up. No, my cut is going to be 16. I'm sorry, my cut is going to be 640. Their cut is going to be $24,960. So I'm making $16,640 per year on that one carrier if I give that to a dispatcher. Now, if I've got 5 carriers and I'm doing the exact same thing, that's a lot of money. Because remember, I'm getting 5 carriers. I'm turning 5 carriers over to dispatch. But we're talking about just one carrier on that year. Now, if I got 5 like that, that times 5, that means my company is making $83,200 on that group of 5 carriers. That dispatcher who's making about what? 20. Let me go back and redo it and show y'all here. You got 41.6 minus 60%, 24,960. So you got 24,960. 24,960 times 52 weeks. No, I'm sorry. Times 5. I take that back. Sorry about that, y'all. 24,960 times 5. All right, because you got 5 carries. Ah, come on. What am I doing? 24 960 times 5. All right. So you dispatcher on 5 carriers, if I gave him 5 carriers with that type of, with that type of revenue, they're making $124,800 a year. Now let's cut that down to just $1,000 on the load fees, running just 4 loads per week. None of this dedicated stuff. Just a dispatcher's got to find them 4 loads per week. They're averaging $1,000 a load. Some's going to be higher, some's going to be, but it's going to average out to about that. $1,000 a load, just one dispatcher, right? And I give them 5 carriers, right? 5 on operators, and they are running just 4 loads per week, averaging $1,000 per load. I can tell you what's going to come out to be. It's going to come out to be $104,000. How do I know this? I'm going to show y'all something here in a second that's going to really like freak you out. All right. This is how this is going to work out. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's go through the numbers so I can prove it to you. You got $1,000 per week, right? I mean, $1,000 per load. So that's about the average, because the average driver is going to run, distance 760 miles is the average, run for a load over the road. Some are less, some are higher, but you average out to about 760 miles. At 760 miles, a carrier can run about 4 of those per week, max. 4 of those per week. Your average load fee, let's keep it low and say it's $1,000. Okay, the average is probably way higher than that, but let's say $1,000 per load. That's your average load fee on that type of mile. Not even really $2 per mile. Let's keep it around with the like $1.78 per mile. All right. So on that, if you're doing that right there, you got $1,000 per load, 4 loads per week, right? If the dispatcher is being paid, if our fee is 10%, that's $100 that you're averaging per load as a dispatch firm, right? $100. If we're paying the dispatcher 6% of the load fee and we keep 4%, that means $60 is going to go to the dispatcher. $40 is going to come to us each load. So that dispatcher is making $60 per load times 4. $240 per week on one carrier dispatching times 5 carriers. I gave them 5 carriers. $1,200 a week times 52 weeks. $62,400. Okay, that's what it is. All right, so they're gonna make $62,400 on 5 carriers, right? 5 carriers if they're dispatching for us. Now, if you're just working by yourself, you're gonna keep that whole $400, right? Because you're gonna keep the whole $100 per load, $1,000 load fee. You charging 10%, so you're gonna keep that $100. So if you're working by yourself, and you're managing 5 carriers, and you don't have to split your dispatch fee. Let me show y'all something. You manage 5 carriers, that's $100 per load times 4 loads per week. That's $400 times 5 carriers. That's $2,000. That times 52 weeks in a year, that's $104,000. Now, check this out. I'm about to blow some of y'all's mind. My first year dispatching, I managed approximately 5 carriers because that's all I was managing. Now, my firm managed a whole lot more, but me personally, because you have your company's revenue and you have your personal revenue. Now, if you have a business, you want to keep that separate. You never want to have your company's revenue as your own personal revenue, because IRS is going to eat your behind alive. It's because your company, as a corporation, because you have people who are hired with you, you get deductions and all this other type of stuff. This is why Amazon made trillions of dollars but paid no taxes. You hear people talk about Jeff Bezos making money but not paying taxes. No, not Jeff Bezos himself didn't have to pay taxes, but his company had to pay no taxes because of the way they're structured and all of the deduction. And Jeff Bezos, his income is is not what his company's income is. His income is a lot less, even though his income is a lot more than ours, because his company is making trillions of dollars every single year. So that means his income is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? But it's not trillions of dollars like his company is. Keep your company's revenue and your personal revenue separate. That's why you want to make yourself an employee of your own company when you start any type of company that has a chance of being very successful. Because as an employee of your own company, you can pay yourself a salary. Me, as an employee of my own company, CEO of RBBS Transport, I am an employee of my own company. I only manage 5 carriers on average because the way I scale my business is I go out and I get 5 carriers. I dispatch them for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I turn them over to a dispatch agent, and I keep 40%. I pay the dispatch agent 60%, right? So my company is making 40% of that right there. Then I go back out and I do what I do best. I get 5 more carriers. I dispatch them for a week or 2, then I turn them over to a dispatch agent. My company keeps 40%. They keep what? 60%. So me personally, I'm only managing 5 carriers on average. Guess what? Me managing 5 carriers for my personal income in 2018, look where it's at. 104,952. Right where I told y'all it's going to be if you are doing this, if you're scaling your business just like this. All it takes is 5 carriers running 4 loads per week, averaging $1,000 per load, and you'll make $100,000 a year. It's like reading a good book and at the end saying, boy, I did not see that coming. This is how you scale your business. This is what we teach at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Okay? This is what we teach at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. For those of you who wonder, well, exactly what do they do over there besides provide tools, resources, training, support, and all that type of stuff? This is what we teach at the RBBS Logistics. We teach you how to manage trucks. We teach you how to scale your business. We teach you how to focus on just the small things and take them step by step. And before you know it, by the end of the year, you're looking at $100,000 your first year in dispatch. Okay. If it's all dry van, the dispatcher can handle 8 to 10 trucks. No, he can't. No, he can't. No, he can't. I've seen it. Look, that works in theory. One dispatcher is not going to be able to handle no 8 to 10 trucks effectively. Some are going to fall between the cracks. Now, if you're smart and you're applying all the things that we are applying and you got them all undedicated, yeah, that's fine. But you're not going to have them all undedicated. Okay? You're not going to have them all undedicated. Because there are going to be days when you're going to be calling up. If you're trying to book loads every single day, one dispatcher is not going to be able to handle no 8 to 10 trucks. Not as an independent dispatcher. And he's trying to find them loads every single day. When you call up the truck driver, just because you're finding good paying freight doesn't mean that carrier is going to accept it. Oh, now we got another whole dynamic to add to this thing. Because I'm telling you how this works in the real world. In the real world, you can call them and say, hey, John, guess what, man? I got you a good paying load, picking up today, going, 752 miles, and it's paying $2,800. John might say, well, how much weight is it? It's 32,000 pounds. I don't want to pull that much weight today. What the hell you mean you don't want to pull that much weight today? Well, where's it going? Oh, it's going down to Georgia. I don't want to go to Georgia. Okay, well, where's it picking up again? Oh, you got to go 60 dead. I don't want to drive no 60 deadhead miles. Look, it ain't as simple as you finding loads for 8 to 10 carriers because you're dealing with people, personalities. They all have moods and all this other stuff, right? Because I wish it was that easy. I wish you could find loads, call up a carrier, say, hey, I got this load to carry, accepts it every time. Yeah, in a perfect world. It ain't going to happen that way. I promise you it's not. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it. You may be able to do it for a week or two, a month or two, but something is going to come along, and you're going to wind up having yourself a bunch of carriers. A bunch of those carriers are going to start having attitudes, not want to do this, not want to do that, and before you know it, your whole thing starts crumbling down. And that's how you have gaps in your revenue. You're not going to be able to keep 8 to 10 carriers satisfied by yourself and completely happy. But you can keep 5 carriers satisfied and completely happy. Why? Because you're not dealing with a whole bunch of them. And you're still going to make decent money. $62,000 a year, $65,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, okay, for your first year dispatching, right, by yourself that's something you can handle. Don't try to overstep yourself, because what you're going to do is when you start to overstep yourself, why try to hang on to 10 carriers by yourself when you can hire someone else, you give them 5 and let them manage those 5, and you still keep 40% of that revenue. Because if you're scaling yourself right, and trust me when I tell you this, without me telling y'all what my company brings in every year after 3 years, if you're scaling yourself right, by the time you hit your second to third year, you'll be knocking on the door of $1 million a year for your company. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all don't hear me. Okay? How do you think I went from starting my business and working out of a storage unit, a U-Haul storage unit? When y'all look at my videos back from 2017, 2018, I was living and working out of a storage unit, a U-Haul mini office storage space, $270 a month, heated and cool. I could park my Range Rover inside of the storage unit area, and I ran my business and lived in that storage unit for 9 months. Had me a little small refrigerator, had me a space heater for the wintertime. It was heated and cool area, had my little desk and everything in there, and my little blow-up bed. That's where I lived for 9 months, running my business out of that storage unit. I went from that, then I bought me a fifth wheel camper out by the lake 9 months later. Ran my business from that fifth wheel camper. Go out there and fish by the lake. You know, this is Florida. Go out there and fish by the lake, book freight by the lake, all that type of stuff. 6 months later, I bought a condo. Bought it. Not financed it, bought it. There you go. Bought a condo. Y'all saw me when I was broadcasting from that condo. Big pool area, 4-bedroom, 4-bath condo, 1,600 square feet. Condo. Bought it and paid for it. Okay? My wife was driving by that time, me and my wife, we were still dating. We had moved in together, bought her a convertible, had the Cadillac, had the truck, that type of stuff. Here it is a year later, still scaling my business. A year later, we bought this house. Private, gated community. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you what scaling your business does for you, and what keeping it, manageable. That's me going out getting 5 carriers, turning 5 carriers over to a dispatch agent. Go back out, get 5 more carriers, turning 5 carriers over to the dispatch agent. You make your business attractive and manageable doing it that way. Okay, if you try to put 8 carriers, if you try to handle 8 to 10 carriers, and then try to give your dispatchers 8 to 10 carriers, oh, Lord have mercy. You are setting up for the end of your business, because people are going to become dissatisfied. Carriers are going to become dissatisfied. When carriers become dissatisfied and they no longer are satisfied with the level of service you are providing to them, they talk. A dissatisfied client will tell at least 10 people. A satisfied client is only going to tell 1. Remember that. Bet on that now. Okay? Not trying to shut you down, Dr. Glock, but I'm just telling you from experience. I'm not telling you from somebody read, somebody know. I'm telling you from the last 4 years of running this type of business. That's why people join our platform, because they get the wealth of knowledge from someone who is doing it and not someone who is just trying to teach it. Okay? What's the best way to cancel a load? The best way to cancel a load is by doing it truthfully, being honest. There is no way that you can, cancel a load once you have accepted it. Because here's the deal. In this business, your word is your bond. Okay. Once you accept that confirmation rate sheet, and that confirmation rate sheet is signed, you are now obligated to run that load. If for any reason that load has to be canceled, the only way to do it is to be truthful. Now, if you're just trying to cancel because you changed your mind, you're in the wrong business. Okay, because you have no integrity. If you are just trying to cancel a load because you just changed your mind, well, I took this load, but now, oh, I found another load over there pays better. You're in the wrong line of work. You ain't gonna last long because you have no integrity. Because if you were man or woman enough to accept that load, be man and woman enough to go ahead and fulfill that obligation and run that load. Now, that might not be the answer you were looking for, but that's the truth. Okay, I mean, like if I find exactly, if you have looked at a load and you accepted it, you looked at it, you knew what it was paying, you accepted it, and then you find a better load and you want to cancel when you just obligated to run, you have no integrity. I can't say it any other way than that. People are gonna realize when dealing with me, all my students know when they're dealing with me, I talk from a place of truth. I don't hold back. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't say stuff just to make you feel good. I tell you the truth. Like it or not, I'm telling you the truth. If you are trying to cancel a load because you don't find a better load, that means you have no integrity. Okay? It just is what it is. That's the answer. That's the answer. So that's why you're trying to cancel a load. The best way to do it is not to cancel it. Be a man and live up to your obligation. Have some integrity, live up to your obligation. Because I guarantee if you do that, you're going to come out a lot better in the long run. Because you're not going to last in this business. Because remember, the trucking industry, all facets of it, is still a good old boy business. It is still a good old boy business. So if you go and you cancel a load that you done accepted, you done signed the rate confirmation on it, you done accepted it, and now you find a better load, and you go and accept that with somebody else, you don't think people in this business talk? This is a good old boy industry. As big as it is, just about everybody knows somebody who works for another company, and they talk. And before you know it, word's gonna get around. Oh, this guy right here, he don't. If he accept your load, if he find another load, I'm just better. He gonna call and cancel on you because he did it on me. How do I know? Because the company that ran him told me about it, or someone that ran that told me, look, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Exactly. Trucking is about dependability. Mr. Glock, you hit it dead on the head. If you get a reputation of not being dependable, you ain't gonna get no more. Nobody's gonna trust you with their freight. Nobody's gonna ever, no. Whether you are an owner operator, whether you are a dispatcher, whether you are it ain't gonna happen. Okay. Trucking is about dependability. The shipper is dependent on you to run that load because you have accepted and signed that rate confirmation. The broker is dependent on you to run that load because you have accepted and signed that rate confirmation. Even the shipper has an obligation to somebody who they got those loads for. You think the shipper makes their own loads? No. They get their loads from somewhere else, and they have an obligation to move X amount of loads at an X amount of time. And if you have people running around and say, okay, yeah, I'll take this load, they're marking that on their book. It is scheduled. You put a chain of events in place, and everything works on everything else. So if any part of that chain breaks down, it disrupts that whole supply line. And you all wonder why when truckers get to shipping areas and they have to wait 4 or 5 hours to get loaded because someone down that line decided that they wanted to cancel a load that they had already agreed to take because they found another load that was better. It's disrupting the whole chain line, the whole supply line, then it throws everybody off. This is why you have these long behind delays at shippers and pickups and deliveries because they're already counting on a truck to be there at a certain time, and you got to cancel. Now they got to find somebody else to do it, which sets the whole thing back. No integrity. Okay? You got to have integrity when you're in this business. If you don't, get out, please. Get out, go find something else to do. Go work at Walmart, go work for Amazon or somebody, but get out of this business. Okay, right. Nevada said if the load is still available the next day, then book that good paying load the next day. Or tell that broker or whoever you try to book that load and say, hey, does this load run every day? Or does this load run multiple times this week? Go ahead and fulfill your obligation, but book that next load for something else for later on. okay? But please do not get in the habit of canceling loads just because you find a better load. That's what's wrong with the business now. That's what's wrong with the business. That's why we always ask our pitch. Here is our pitch. I'm as a dispatcher. Here's what we teach our dispatchers to say when they're calling up trucks. Hey, Mr. Truck Guy, how you doing? My name is Calvin Butler, and I own RBBS Transport LLC. We are a dispatch firm that specializes in finding high-dollar freight for carriers like yourself. Let me ask you a question. How much money do you need to move your truck? That's our pitch. How much money do you need to move your truck? Why do we ask that? That driver may come back and say, well, I need $7 per mile. Well, great, because here, what we do here is, when you tell us that you need $7 per mile for a load, I'm only going to call you with loads that's paying $7 per mile or more. If you tell me you don't want to go more than 500 miles, I'm only going to call you with loads that keep you under 500 miles or your trip mile. If you tell me I don't want to run up in the mountains, I'm only going to call you with loads that run on the bottom half of the United States, keep you out the mountain. So you know when you see our number on your caller ID, you know I got the kind of loads you want, going to the places you want to go, paying the kind of money you want to get paid. Where can I see your dispatch agreement to? Because that sets us up for integrity, right? If you tell me I need $5 per mile minimum to move my truck, why would I call you with a load that's paying $4.50 or $3 per mile or $2 per mile? I already know what you need, so I'm not going to ring your phone until I got what you need. That way, when I call you and tell you I got a load that's paying $6 per mile, I'm living up to my word, and you're going to live up to your word, and you're going to accept that load. That's integrity. That's integrity. That's why my dispatch firm runs smoothly. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have carriers that turn down loads. I do, but I don't have nearly as many as some other people out there who haven't set their company up for that integrity level. But that simple question of how much money do you need to move your truck, you are setting that carrier up and letting him know that you tell me what you want, what you need. Now I'm going to supply you with what you asked for, with what you need. I'm not going to try and supply you with something you don't want or something you don't need. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we are successful at signing on carriers and running our business. Now, I don't take on carriers anymore because we got 300. We keep on average between 317 and 340. We don't even hire dispatchers because dispatchers that we have there are so happy they ain't going nowhere. And when we do lose dispatchers, then I do my job. Actually, I don't do it. I got a team of salespeople that go out and find trucks now using that same pitch. How much money do you need to move your truck? And that's what we train here at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. This is how we train. All right, everybody. Our time is up. It's been a great Friday for the Load Board Report. Remember, every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7:15 a.m., we give away free loads if you call us up at 866-973-6445. It's a free call, toll-free number. Free call. It doesn't matter what extension you get. You call it up, tell us where you at, what type of trailer you have. We'll find you some loads and we'll give them to you free. No dispatch fees will happen. Now, if you want to join our training platform, because now our training platform, now, even if you don't need training, let me tell you why you should join our network and platform, even if you don't need dispatch training. If you are a successful dispatcher and you don't need our training, join us because we're going to save you money. Why? Because we give you access to more than 100 load boards, okay? More than 100 load boards, okay? No, that is not one of them because I never saw the need in paying $199 for a load board, but I can get the same thing for $39.95, okay? No, I'm not going to do it. Okay, I've never used that, and we run our company just fine. Nothing against that great load board, I just think they're overpriced, okay? All right, but we give you access to more than 100 load boards. As a dispatch firm or as a trucking company, you're going to need access to multiple load boards in order to run sufficiently, or you're going to need access to direct shipping. We also give you access to more than 19 million plus shippers. We're not talking about just a list with names and numbers on it. We give you a site where you can go and you can look up every shipper registered in the country, and we give you the name of the person in charge of making the decision to either sign you on or not. We don't just give you some company, number on their company roll. When you call, you get the secretary, you might be getting the janitor or somebody. You got to talk your way into talking to the person making the decision. No, when you look at the contacts that are on our list, it's always the vice president, the president, distribution manager, plant manager, or something of that nature. The person who is making the decision, not a secretary, not an assistant, not a go-between, okay, not a gatekeeper, who's making the decision. We give you their direct number or cell phone number, and we give you their direct email address, their personal email address, because all of them have that person's name at whatever, their personal email address. Okay. We also provide for you access to our logistics library. It has every word and phrase ever used in trucking. You get access to our massive network of more than 2,960 some odd professionals, industry professionals, who are part of our private social media group. Our groups on social media are private, which means you can't join them if you're not a subscription paying member to our platform. Whoa. And in our private social media groups, we have dispatch owners, dispatchers, freight broker owners, freight brokers and freight broker agents. We have distribution plant managers. We have shippers. We have third-party logistics firm, freight forwarders. They're all part owner operators and fleet managers. They're all part of our network. So when you all come to our platform and in our network on social media, you get to talk with people who are in the industry. You get to network with them. You will all get to help each other to understand the industry, and you help each other to find and book freight. And we also give you access to more than 140,000 hours of operational training videos. No one else gives you that type of access. No one else provides for you the type of tools and resources that we provide that actually save you money. And on top of all that, we have training every week, every Monday. We have franchise training. Every Thursday night, we have dispatch product knowledge training. Every Saturday, we have the broker's hour, which is dedicated broker training. And every day, we have the load board report. You get all of this for just $349.95 on your enrollment fee and $39.95 per month, and you keep 100% of everything you earn. I'm gonna tell you right now, on average, we save our individuals a lot of money. Look, everybody, I've got to go. My dog's outside of barking, and we're over time. I thank you all. I love you all. Thanks to all our guests who joined us today. I appreciate it. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you all next week on the Load Board Report. Bye, everybody.